Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sim Racing Weekly, your weekly news for sim racing, real life racing, and more. You're probably wondering, why is there no music to start off with? And I think you're alright. It's because that this intro, this whole topic that I'm about to do, requires no fancy schmancy, no copyright music sound. It deserves this. That is right. Last night and the night before, we had the twice round the clock Le Mans 24. History was made. For the first time, those famous Toyota made the top step of the podium. It was also the first time that Formula One ace Fernando Alonso had won the 24 hours of Le Mans. He becomes another list of people who are current or retired Formula One stars to win the Le Mans 24. Not only that, he's one win away from winning the Triple Crown. That is winning the Indy 500, the 24-hour Le Mans, and the Monaco Grand Prix, which is won the Monaco Grand Prix and now the 24-hour Le Mans. But you can safely say that Australia has won the Triple Crown. As we look here, Matt Campbell in the Dempsey Proton Racing car number 77 in the Porsche 911 RSR have won the AM class alongside Christian Reed and Julian Alonta. So it's been a big year for us Australians, with Dan Ricciardo winning the Monaco Grand Prix, Will Power winning the Indy 500, and now Matt Campbell winning in his class of the Le Mans 24. But it hasn't come without some controversy, with some cars having to be disqualified. Due to not meeting the overall minimum drive time for drive, as it is a very strict rule in regards to endurance racing, not just for stuff like the Bathurst 1000 and all that. It was in fact is just bigger. And not only that, car number 2 cars actually got disqualified. Car number 26 and car number 28. Both Oreca 07s. It was found that they illegally modified the fueling rig in order to fuel both cars quicker than the regulations allow. So there must be a fuel drop that has to be done in the LMP2 specifications. A very long list of cars in what was one of the great races that there was, or there is. That being the Le Mans 24. So out of 24 now, topics for tonight. We're going downwards this time, not across in a zigzag pattern. We're now going downwards. So we got the Darwin Triple Crown debrief, as well as we will be talking about we'll be having a half-yearly report on supercars, as well as the half-year reports for Scops and Formula 1. So that's it for the Le Mans 24. Can't wait to see it again next year. See if Toyota will maintain its presence on the top step of the podium. That has been the Le Mans 24. We'll be back right after this. Hopefully get some co-hosts in for the Darwin Triple Crown.
I've been dreaming. 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 I've been dreaming.
It was, again, another great race at the Supercars in Darwin. The Virgin Australian Supercars Championship Crown Bet Darwin Triple Crown. It was another weekend of fantastic racing with numerous improvements along the field, including other stuff such as, well, the wildcard entry with Macaulay Jones. He's had a bit of a few stuff around there. Most surprisingly, for me, it was Scott McLaughlin on the second race. The engine starting to smoke, thinking he will be over and out, but actually, in fact, it wasn't over and out. He stayed on. He did pretty well, which is to my surprise, and well to others, because at the end of the pit stop, the smoke was pretty bad, but it seemed to clear itself, which was pretty surprising, to be honest. Also, Deborah Reynolds got another win for Erebus Motorsport, which makes it the first time that Erebus have won 2 times in a year, as well as for the first time since 2015 that Deborah Reynolds won more than one race, which is pretty amazing to see. See that Erebus have been putting up and have been versing against all the other drivers. So yeah, it's pretty interesting to see in that case. So unfortunately, again, ever since it's been introduced, it's like they always, no one wins it. That's the problem. No one gets it. No one gets the Triple Crown. Like everyone's saying, oh, this year's going to be the year. This year's going to be the year. But it turns out, this year's not the year. It's just weird. So looking at the Drivers' Championship at the moment, as I yawn. Excuse me. So Scott McLaughlin is currently in the championship lead by 161 points over fellow Kiwi Shane Van Gisbergen, who is currently the best performing Holden with the Red Bull Holden Racing Team. Deborah Reynolds leapfrogs into third with 1,448 points, 327 points behind the leader. Craig Lowndes is P4 with 1,332, 413 points away from McLaughlin. And Jamie Whincup with 1,342, 433 points away. So they're around 2 races away from McLaughlin. Finishing off the 10, we've got Scott Pye, Fabian Coulthard, Rick Kelly, Chaz Mostert, and James Courtney. So we've got 2 of the Walkinshaw and Andretti United cars. You've got both the Shell V-Power cars. You've got all the Triple Eight cars. 1 Nissan, 1 Tickford. Look at the Teams Championship. It's still a tight battle between the Shell V-Power Racing and the Red Bull Holden Racing Team, with just only 48 points separating the two, which will possibly be one of the tightest competition in a while. So it's good to see. Then it's Mobile 1 Boost Mobile Racing, which I believe currently resides row number 3. Garage number 3. 1 or 2. Erebus Motorsport, Freightliner Racing. Then first half of Tickford, as well as the first half. Nissan got 7 and 8. With the lowest of the cars being of the 2 car stable of Monster Energy Racing car number 6 and Tickford Racing number 56. That's being of Cam Waters and Richie Stanaway, who actually in fact raced in the official V8 supercars last night. Unfortunately, the wheel gave in. So that's a bit of a shame that it happened. But anyway, that's enough for that. Down Triple Crown, we'll be looking at the half-yearly reports for supercars right after this. And we're back with some more supercars action, this time being of half-yearly reports. Since we're now halfway into the series, I think it's more appropriate to try and get these half-yearlies underway. So, starting things off, the new Holland ZB Commodore has been proven to be pretty competitive, and at the start of the year was proven to be a little bit controversial, with the use of composite materials instead of the usual steel frame aluminium seen on road cars. So they managed to find the ballast from the car. It would move it to the aero-sensitive parts to make the car even quicker. So that caused a bit of a ruckus, and saw that Nissan and the Ford have decided to move to do their part and allow composite materials onto their cars. So the disadvantages that the new Commodore had over what has been done with the Holden Commodore compared to the other cars was null and voided. Second of all, we saw the resurgence of Scott McLaughlin after his near championship result in 2017, which is a bit of a shame for that one. It was shaping up to be a pretty big year, and it is currently at the moment with McLaughlin having the most race wins, most poles, and shown to be a true contender. Third thing is that this year's the final year of the Ford Falcon to be used in supercars. It will now be replaced with the Ford Mustang, which will be coming out next year. And finally, we've only got at least another 14 races left. We've got the Endurance Cup, we've got the only international appearance at Pukekohe, and we've got the night race coming up in the next 2 months at the Sydney Motorsport Park for the Red Rooster Sydney Super Night 300. It'll be 300 kilometers under lights, and it's surely going to be one of the best things ever. And after that, we go to a brand new venue, and that of being the Bend in Tailem Bend in South Australia. It'll be the start of the Bend Super Sprint on August 24th to 26th. Then the Endurance Cup, Sandown 500, the Bathurst 1000, the Gold Coast 600. Then the Auckland Super Sprint, before wrapping it up at the Coates Hire Newcastle 500. So at the moment, the best placed rookie in supercars, as I try and get the results up as we speak. We've had 5 rookies in this year and I can't even remember them all, and I'm not even going to, just in case I blab it. And you guys know me. It is Anton Di Pasquale with Erebus Motorsport in P17, followed on by Jack LeBrock, Todd Hazelwood, Richie Stanaway, and James Golding, who is currently last in P26. It doesn't include Macaulay Jones because he only did a wild card entry. It might do too. Who knows? So that's the half-yearly report for the supercars at good old Dull at the half-yearly mark. And we'll be back for Scops.
I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Don't stare 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere. Yeah. I prayed for you and kept you near in hopes you'd chase away my fears. I'm on my own, you made it so, and now I'm chasing nightmares. I used to run with you through the great big leaves, laugh at you when you laugh at me. Hope for us because I believe the home was just you and me. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. Oh, oh, I'm gonna do this on my own. No point in blaming you, you did not know. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me.
And welcome back to A Sim Racing, a weekly. Now we're on to Scops. Good old Scops. It's been a pretty wacky year this year, with probably more people making mistakes than ever before. Some pretty costly, others pretty bad. The problem here, I don't think there's really any problems, but long story short, it was crazy. It's been pretty crazy, to tell you the least. Jared Philcell, currently the excuse me for a sec. Jared Philcell, currently the only driver to have won more races than anyone else. He's won the majority of it, with Jared Filsell, Jake Burton winning one race, and I believe that is it. We're now heading into the second half of the season, starting off at the Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca in Monterey, California. However, something really interesting has popped up lately, and it's bugged me for quite a while, and it was being pushed for quite a while to have Belle Isle as a replacement to Laguna Seca. In my opinion, there is no point for it. To be absolutely sure, it's totally pointless. To have Belle Isle join in this year compared to usually last year and all that, it's pointless to have a new track when the calendar has already been finalized. I'm just being absolutely fair. And I'm being absolutely clear that it's just not really needed, to be honest. What's the point of having Belle Isle in a calendar that's already been done? It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. And I don't see any point in doing it. There's no point in putting in Belle Isle now if you guys are just gonna wait a year for it anyway. That's the reality of it. What's the point of having that there for absolutely no reason? The problem is there is no reason. But with Phil Sell in the lead, I'm sure he's going to hopefully continue on his merry ways. I honestly think he's going to be champion-elect this year. That's how adamant I am. So that's it for the half-yearly report. On to the final topic, Formula 1. And now on to the final topic, which will be talking about the half-yearly report on the Formula 1. Good old Formula 1. This year has been pretty interesting in regards to Formula 1 itself, with the introduction of the Halo, as well as... The introduction of the Halo, as well as a few other rules and regulations that came into effect this year. So, there's already a bit of a tight battle for the lead of the Drivers' Championship, with Sebastian Vettel currently in the lead over Lewis Hamilton. The constructors are the same too. Mercedes is still in the lead over Ferrari. As we now head into the halfway point, with the next round being the French Grand Prix at Circuit Paul Ricard. This is going to be a bit of a doozy for this one. First time it's ever been at the that same venue. And I obviously cannot wait to see the Formula 1 cars around that circuit. It's going to be fun. In saying that though, rules and regulations for the 2019 season have just been unveiled. And the front wing has been simplified, with some of the winglets being removed to reduce aerodynamic turbulence, as well as making the rear wing even wider and the DRS zone slightly higher to make sure DRS is even in a bigger or more effect than it is currently. Plus the wing end plates will be simplified to add in more sponsorship room, as well as a smaller barge board, so all sponsors have an equal presence on those cars. As well as the new helmet regulations, stating that helmet must be durable for thorough tests to make it out onto the showrooms. It will be possibly used in that simplest fashion for quite a while. No news on when the super hards will be used, but I'm hoping it will be soon. Red Bull Racing will now be joining with Honda as the to become Red Bull Racing. I'm not sure it'll still have Aston Martin in it, but it sure will have Honda's sponsorship on it, which is a bit of a added bonus. So that's it for the podcast tonight. It was just me again. Honestly, something needs to be done, so there'll be more to come in next week. I know that's a possibility that I wanted to have, but yeah, so on behalf of myself, yours truly, hope you have a safe weekend, safe remainder of the week, and I will see you next week or any weeks before after. Thank you.